It takes a lot of courage to release the familiar and seemingly secure to embrace the new. But there is no real security in what is no longer meaningful. There is more security in the adventurous and exciting. For in movement there is life, and in change there is power, said the successful businessman Alan Cohen. Courage and bravery are often two very misunderstood words. Everyone wants courage. Everyone wants to be thought of as brave. But it's not just the physical bravery that counts. What also comes into account is the cleverness, the astuteness, and the intellect. And so, once upon a time, there were more torches that burned in the distant horizon than Kanha could count. It was, after all, the mightiest army of the time, the army of the great ruler of Magad, Jarasan. And it was threateningly advancing towards him yet again. Kanha had repulsed his attacks more than a dozen times, but every time they came back with a bigger, larger army and a firmer resolve. This was, after all, not about annexing Mathura. It was about revenge. Kanha had killed Jarasan's son-in-law, Kans. He had widowed both his daughters, who Kans was married to. The pain of two widowed daughters was more than Jarasan could bear. He wanted the head of the coward that had done this to his daughters. He wanted Kanha dead. There had been wave after wave of attacks, and now Mathura was beginning to shake and tremble with the sound of approaching battle drums. Food was scarce, and the stench of death was all around. Kanha did notice his older brother Balram standing behind him and watching the same scene, albeit with a worried frown on his face. Not again, Kanha. The people cannot take it. Not another battle. Balram's voice was heavy with concern. Kanha nodded but did not offer any comment. You have a plan, don't you? Balram probed further. Kanha smiled his naughty smile and then said craftily, Yes, I do have a plan. We must run. Run from Mathura. Not just you and me, but the entire population. Men, women, children, livestock, everyone. Balram was shocked to hear Kanha say this. You mean run from the battlefield? Have you lost your mind, Kanha? Kanha simply shook his head. No, I have not. Do you know, we shall become the laughing stock of the entire land? The little king of Mathura running from Jarasan? Kanha found Balram's temper amusing, as always. What's wrong with being laughed at? Everyone laughs at everyone behind their backs, right? Fine, fumed Balram. Yet at least you and I know who you really are. You are omnipotent. You alone can crush this army without any help. Why don't you do it, Kanha? And then, just for once, Kanha's smile faded. And just a little bit, his eyes grew sad. I have come to understand, Balram. Being a god is easy. It's being a human being that is so difficult. If I have to do things that God can do, then why do I have to incarnate? I can just sit up there on my godly throne and choke all the evil in the world. I have come here to lead man by example. And you know what's the best example I can set right now? Run? Asked Balram, still in disbelief. Yes, there are different ways to look at courage. And sometimes the biggest act of courage is to swallow our impractical sense of pride and live to fight another day. Stepping back requires more courage than stepping forward sometimes. And this is that time. Balram stood speechless. Kanha's wisdom had a way of dispelling his temper. But what Balram did not know was that Kanha had already made plans of a golden future, a city by the name of Dwarka. And it was because of this that forever Kanha would be known as Ranchod.